So there's like two articles here now. I'm getting it by way of My Nintendo News, but they have their sources. One is, oh God, what is this? A Spanish site. I tried to do this. Why am I yawning? God damn it! I blew it. So, it's from a site called Vandal on the one hand, and then on the other hand, there's news coming from the site by way of Business Korea. So we got two things here having to do with the Switch, and they kind of contradict each other. That's the one thing I want to say is they contradict each other. So I'm going to read these, all right, and then I'm going to discuss. I'm going to give my thoughts. So here we go. Spanish video game site. I'm just going to read what they have here. Spanish video game site Vandal claims to have been given new information regarding the highly anticipated successor to the Nintendo Switch. Take this with a grain of salt. While Nintendo is yet to unveil or officially announce the successor, rumblings are that it is on track for release in early 2025. Vandal, however you want to say that, says that the Switch 2 is bigger than the current Nintendo Switch, but not as large or as hefty as the Steam Deck. Joy-Cons will apparently attach to the console magnetically, meaning that your current Switch Joy-Cons are unlikely to be compatible, and I have something I want to say about that in a minute. Uh, with the new system, though, there's good news for Switch Pro controller fans as the current Pro controller will work on the new console. This is just a rumor at present, so take it with a grain of salt. Here's a summary of details from Vandal. So here, this is what Vandal's saying. They're saying, and I might be butchering that name. Accessory manufacturers have been able to touch the console but not see it. Um, really, really touch it but not see it. This is what they actually mean. They've been able to hold it, but they haven't been able to look inside of it at the technology. They don't know what's inside it. They have no details about what's going on inside the hardware is what they're saying. Oi. Every manufacturer agrees the console won't release this year and will release early 2025. The other article I'm about to read sort of goes against that. It says it says, well, not opposite, but it says something very different. Um, it's a bit bigger than the current Switch models, but nowhere close to the Steam Deck size. Joy-Cons will change their attachments uh, system from rails to a magnetic system, and the current ones won't be forward compatible. The current Pro controller will work on Switch 2. Now let's look at the one that's and I believe this more than I believe the Spanish site. I'm not sorry when I say this that I believe the Korean business site. I'm not sorry. I'm sorry for everybody who speaks Spanish and whatnot. It's nothing against you, but all this stuff is being manufactured in Asia or parts of Asia. So I'm prone to believe rumors out of Asia more than out of some random Spanish site. I'm not going to believe that. But there could be some truth in it, like the whole magnetic thing. That could be true. There might be. I mean, I don't know if I'd like that. I mean, there's got to be some powerful magnets to hold them on there. But anyhow, so now this is from Business Korea. Basically, the publication is claiming a number of things, but let's start with just the list here. It's like Switch 2 is expected to launch as early as the second half of this year. So probably just before the holidays. I'm guarantee you, if it does this year, it'll be just before the holidays. If not, it'll be sometime next year. And that's fine. It'll give them time to build, to release some games and have it ready by holiday 2025. But you also have to realize we're fixing to go, and I don't know if this is actually having an effect on things, but we're fixing to go into another voting. This is another voting year. Towards the end of the year, we'll be voting for a new president. I don't know if that's why they want to go ahead and get it launched before then. There's no telling what the future holds, but I don't know. Maybe there's a connection there. I don't know. I'm kind of cherry picking or whatever, however you want to say that. Just speculating. There we go. So it's expected to launch as early as the second half of this year. Suppliers have reportedly reached a considerable degree of agreement for initial product contracts. Samsung Foundry will fabricate the SoC on Samsung's 7LPH process node. Samsung will provide the NAND storage for both the cartridge and the internal memory. Samsung has overcome competitors from China to be the display supplier. So that's interesting. This information has also been corroborated by some random person or is the I don't even know how to say that. Primarily a leaker for Samsung Electronic Products. There's some validity here when it's from a known leaker for Samsung, and this is coming. So if they're a known leaker and they're getting the information correct, this is more likely. I'm sorry, Spanish site. This is more likely. So according to these people, is like the Nintendo Switch 2 is expected to launch as early as the second half of this year. Significant contracts have already been negotiated in the component industry for initial production. So even though it's an NVIDIA chip, it's being manufactured by Samsung. They got the contract to do the manufacturing of the, why did I hit that? Of the chip. So it's the Tegra, and I'm going to do another video on this chip because I want to find out as much as I can, but it's the Tegra T239, produced by Samsung Foundry, 7LPH. It's, okay, I might be wrong, but I know this chip is an NVIDIA chip, but I'm guessing Samsung will be, it's designed by NVIDIA, but manufactured by Samsung is what it sounds like. I'm not sure what they're saying here. A little bit confused on that one myself. Display will be an OLED at some point, but there's an expectation that the LCD models may be released first using sharp displays. Okay, so let's have a little discussion here about these rumors. I don't know, there might be some validity in the fact that it might be magnetically connected. Maybe. Um, I don't know how I feel about that. That actually might be a good idea, and here's why. Here's why that might be a good idea. There are a lot of people that I have talked to, and I'm one of these idiots, who at one point put the Joy-Cons wrong on my Switch, and now it's messed up. And so one of the Joy-Cons just easily slides off and on now because I botched it, because I'm an idiot. And I'm thinking this is something that maybe they want to avoid in the future. So that might be part of it. There might be some truth here. Um, but I'm more prone to believe the rest of the information coming from the Korean leaker. Is it a Korean leaker or the Samsung leaker? We'll say that. I'm prone to believe the Samsung leaker a lot more. We know that Joy-Con analog stick drift is an issue. The analog sticks on the Joy-Con will drift bad for a lot of people. It has. Nintendo knows this is an issue, but they fought it in court because they're assholes. But they fought it in court and they got their way, which they should have. Nintendo, you shouldn't have gotten your way on this. I'm sorry. I'm holding your foot to the fire on this. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna sit here and kiss your bum. All right? I'm not gonna do it. Um, it was it was it's not right. Okay? But you know that they know it's an issue, so you know that's one of the things that's changing for the Joy-Cons, which might be why they're not, that might be partly why they're not compatible. But that wouldn't, no, 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 no. See, here's the thing. The current, I'm wrong, because the current Switch, you can swap out new Joy-Cons and it still works fine. So I don't think there's a compatibility thing going on here. I think, yeah, it's literally just people screwing up, breaking the metal pieces that supposed to snap. And instead, you'll probably have magnetic things that go and just kind of to the side. Um, that does make sense. As for the release date, I I don't know why I want to believe that it'll be this year. There was a rumor I read at one point that the Switch was going to release, or they were going to announce the Switch 2 in June. That was something I read way earlier. So if there's any truth to that, then yeah, they're gonna announce it and then release it just before the holidays. So August, no, August, so maybe September, before the holidays hit, before Christmas hits, giving people time to, reserve them, buy them, get them. Yeah. I just hope that Nintendo doesn't. I hope they have plenty of stock. I'm so worried about scalpers. Scalpers are evil. They're the devil. They mess up kids' holidays and everything, and the people that do this should be fucking ashamed of themselves. Um, so yeah, no, I think it will come out when it's supposed to come out. I'm a little confused, but I think what they were saying about Samsung making the chips is like they're just manufacturing them. It's designed by NVIDIA, manufactured by Samsung. Um, and I'll do another video kind of diving into this chipset and what it's possibly going to be capable of. I find that interesting because there was the rumors at one point that the Switch we know is going to be 4K. Why would you make why would it be 4K? Look, I can't speak for other people, but I don't see a reason for the next piece of Nintendo hardware. I'm getting nasally and it sucks. I don't see a reason for the next Nintendo hardware to be 4K. I don't. I don't care about resolutions that high, honestly. Maybe there's some truth to that. The DLSS thing, here's the thing. What if the new dock, it's going to have a new dock. You know there's going to be a new dock. What if that has the technology for the DLSS? It's not on the Switch, it's on the dock, which would make it harder for third parties to make a dock, uh, without losing features anyways, which would keep you from really buying a third party dock. You would only buy a dock from, unless you don't care about the 4K DLSS upresing or up how is that, what is that called? It's an enhancement through AI or something along those lines. But yeah, no, it very much could, my as I talk my sinuses get very nasally. I don't know what to think about this coming out at the end of the year. Before the year's up, I don't know. It seems like the kind of thing that would happen at the beginning of a year and then give them the whole year to announce games. That way, by the next holiday season hits, that they're able to get actually, buy, be able to buy those games. Have them ready for that holiday season. But maybe they're gonna, there is that possibility that when the Switch 2 gets announced supposedly in June, if that is a thing that actually happens, that they'll announce a slew of games at that point. We haven't heard a lot about a lot of things. And there's the potential for like Metroid Prime, blew it. Prime 4 releasing on the new hardware. I mean, it would make some sense. I do hope that there's backwards compatibility in which the Switch 2 can help with refresh rate and whatnot, or just, being able to get a higher frame per second when you're playing certain games. Because even it was cool that Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal came out on the Switch, but they didn't run that well. Textures weren't that great. There was a lot of concessions that had to be made to put a lot of games on the Switch. So my hope is that with the next Switch, uh, it's able to do something with those backwards compatibilities. I know there are probably companies out there chomping at the bit, going, "Why? We could just re-release these games and make money." No, I don't think so. I think people are getting smarter and wiser to that. That's not going to work. You could, however, I don't know, DLC that's also a patch that does some extra stuff. Why not do that? It's not too late to release DLC for the next console for those old games. You could do that instead of sitting there and forcing them to buy the game all over again. You'd still make some kind of money on the people that already have those games. And there's a lot of people that never bought the game because they didn't like how it ran on the original Switch. There's so much that could be talked about with this. Holy crap. Okay, so I don't know how excited I am. Let's be real. I have slowly just kind of lost interest in triple A. I don't care. I don't care for realism in my games really all that much. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, look at some of the games that I've played on this channel. Do you really think it would matter to me? It doesn't matter to me. It's just it's kind of meh. It's kind of whatever. It's just a thing, you know? But what do you think? Leave some comments. Tell me what you think at the bottom. I'm very interested to know what other people think about this. You tell me I'm a fucking idiot if I'm a fucking idiot. If I'm an idiot, I'm an idiot. But thank you very much. I'll see you in another one.